Good evening. This is a Melodic Investor. My name is Antoine, and I just want to come on and tell a story about how my tenants caused me $30,000 in damage. This is why it pays to have the proper insurances and to follow certain protocols. Let's get right to it. Please like and subscribe. If you enjoy this type of content, please share with a friend. Um, I had a tenant move in, and you know, had a great move in, did all the walk with them, the move in checklist, all that good stuff. And as they were unloading, they decided to start breaking down boxes, and they stored some boxes inside of the utility closet, which had I had my what is that called? It's not a sump pump, but it's a oh my gosh, why is it leaving me right now? The condensate pump. Sorry, it's late. Kids asleep. Um, so they set the box on. They crimped the line for the condensate pump, which then burnt it out. Which which I've also learned, you want to make sure that your thermostat is wired correctly to that unit. That way, if that fails, it shuts the system down. Clearly, my system was not wired up correctly, so that is something I will be looking into. Um, More things to make sure you, as a landlord, are staying on top of and checking that, and having your HVAC professionals check that. But at any rate, the pump burnt out because of the crimp in the line, so it was not pushing the water outside. It was pushing it actually inside of the finished basement, which this was like going on for, I want to say, 6 months. And the only reason I found out about it was because I actually had to go down there for a work order because of they broke in it. They broke a toilet. So I called maintenance. They came, and I'm one of those very hands-on owners to where I like to go in and just, make sure things are going as planned. Especially in the beginning of a tenancy, I want to make sure that, we're responding quickly and things like that. If I can and I have the time. I don't always do it, but I have a good enough network to where I trust the contractors um, and the people who are doing the work for me, that I don't have to follow up behind them, but it is a good practice in the beginning as you establish a relationship with the contractor. That being said, I go down there and I'm like, man, these floors sound really weird. And we have the floating floors, LVP flooring in there. And, it's clicked together, T&G, tongue and groove. And really nice. We finished the basement, and we added 2 additional bedrooms in the basement, along with an additional bathroom, a laundry room. We even reconfigured the stairs, relocated them, which we converted the garage, and that gave us more square footage, and it also gave us an additional living room or family room, whatever you want to call it. So it was great. Well, that pump, because of that pump failing, that water got all under baseboards, bathroom, walls, all the way to the living room. So I one of my criteria for residencies is you have to have a renter's insurance. And this is something landlords make sure your tenants have renter's insurance, and also make sure they add you as additionally insured on the renter's insurance. That way you can get notification if policy lapse or anything like that. Again, I'm not a professional, don't even pretend to be one. For those of you who don't know, I've been in the real estate industry for almost 20 years. I did 10 years of the multifamily side, and then almost 10 years on the commercial side. So for whatever reason, I missed this one, and I wasn't additionally insured, so I didn't get the notification. So I reached out to their insurance policy, and it had canceled the month prior. So like month 5 of their tenancy or something like that. And they didn't have insurance. So I had to call my insurance company and reach out to them and see if they could send an adjuster out to come take a look at the damages. And they did that. And then they had a mold remediation company come out, take a look at it. They walked, did a moisture test. Just for those of you who are not in the industry, standard protocol is to come out, they do a moisture reading to make sure that the water didn't travel up on the inside of the sheetrock. And industry standard is if there is a flood and you have water, they're going to cut 4 feet from the floor to 4 feet up around and remove that sheetrock if it's damaged or they're getting a high moisture reading. Or if they just can't get an accurate reading and you want to be safe. So they'll cut everything out, put fans in there, dehumidifiers, get everything circulating, get the airflow going, all the good stuff. So what ended up happening is we ended up having to take up all the flooring. Not a lot of sheetrock, but a good majority of it. And we had to make sure the insulation behind the sheetrock was still intact, and that was what you insulate your exterior walls, so he used like an R21 installation, which is what's the standard code for exterior walls. Luckily that was dry, we didn't have any damage there. However, the sheetrock, the flooring, and I think the total flooring probably about 1,000 square feet, I would say, give or take, because we had to do all the bedrooms, and it wasn't like an area. It just, because of where the utility closet is located, it's like central to the entire unit, so it just kind of like evenly dispersed. And then of course water is always going to find the low points, and that's exactly what it did. So we had to take up all that, and then baseboards, the trim, all that had to come up, and we had to just do the work. And so once we got everything up, dried it out, and we got the bids, came in at 30 grand. And insurance company, they don't like to pay out, so it was a bit of a fight. But they did end up going after the tenant. So tenants out there, make sure you have renter's insurance, and it's not that expensive. You can get some good coverages out there for $17 a month, $20 a month. I don't know if I pay any more than that. And also make sure that things are itemized on that policy. So if you have valuables or that is something that's not replaceable, I recommend, same for owners too. This is just for anyone who has home insurance, whatever. Take pictures, take video of everything that you own that is irreplaceable to you. And again, you have to be within reason. So if you have jewelry or, even TVs, clothes, that are all the things that you don't think about, if there was a flood or a fire or some event and you needed to start over, make sure you have documentation, all that. So what I do is I actually do a walkthrough video of, just the area, spaces, all that good stuff. And then things that I know that are important, I will go ahead and snap a picture of that, and I just save it in my Google Drive. That way it's there. And if something ever happened, God forbid, it's there. I don't have to worry about it. Have that backup ready to go. And if you have receipts or invoices that show what the cost of it was, that's super helpful, because an adjuster will fight you tooth and nail on getting that. Luckily we just finished the renovation, so I had everything on record and what we paid for it. Anyone who's ever done a renovation know, after you're almost done with the renovation, anything you try to get as far as parts wise, like the same flooring or the same faucet or vanity, whatever, generally those things aren't in production anymore. There's a new model that's slightly changed. Maybe the dimensions will fit and things of that nature. So Things to keep in mind: you may not be able to get like for like, but you can get pretty close. Luckily for us, we were able to actually almost like kind of an, I guess it was a small modification upgrade, maybe you would call it, but we got a better quality flooring and really for the same cost. So I recommend anytime you can replace it, if you can go back with something even better, that works as well. One of the things I even did is I did like a moisture barrier on my floors. It's a concrete slab, so I was able to put something over that just to kind of protect it, just to create a barrier, which is good practice anyway, especially if you have or in a situation where they have pets or something like that. You always want some type of sealant down if you can. Sometimes it's hard to do on hardwood floors. I wouldn't recommend, but just make sure that they have a good sealant on them before people are moving in. So, yeah, $30,000. We ended up getting paid out for it minus our deductible. So whatever that came out to be. But moral of the story is, make sure that your tenants have insurance, and make sure your property insurance is adequate, especially if you've done a renovation. Make sure your insurance company knows that, because chances are there's going to be new values and evaluations. You want to make sure you're covered and not under. And you want to have a lot of those things in there, like slip and fall, um, you know, things of that nature. Just have a good, solid, buy as much insurance as you can afford. That's what I like to say. However, insurance is not a guaranteed thing. It's really a, I have a love-hate relationship with insurance, but um unfortunately we live in a world where you kind of need it. And most mortgage companies will, if you have a mortgage on the property, will require you to have some level of insurance. And you don't want to use your lender's insurance, because that will be very expensive. So moral of the story: make sure your tenants have insurance and your name that's additionally insured, and make sure that you have adequate property insurance. Also, the insurance company did drop me after this. They were a little in their feelings about it. Happens. Luckily, I was able to find a new one to kind of cover me, but they just don't like to see that type of stuff. So, hope this is helpful. Again, please like, subscribe, trying to grow this channel. Take care. Bye.